right, boys and girls. So for those of you who have the watercolor paint, we are going to start with the yellow first. And as you notice, I just got my brush a little bit wet, and then you put it in the paint, then the yellow, around and around. We're going to do the yellow bird first. That's the one in the middle, because it's much easier to color the light bird first, because we're going to be mixing colors with our mixing palette. And what you need to do is you need to constantly go back and forth between the water and the paint. And you want to try to paint in the same direction. As you can see, you're going to paint right on top of the beak. You're going to paint the bird, the whole circle, and the beak and the wings all yellow. And as you can see, I'm leaning my hand on the page. I'm leaning my hand on the page so that I have full control. You don't want to have a lot of water inside your paint. You want to have very little water. And I always like to have a paper towel on hand or a wipe, so that if you happen to have some paint that goes outside the line, then you can blot it. And you'll probably see what I mean when we do that if I go outside the line. All right, so you need very little water and a lot of paint. We want this to be a nice bright yellow. Now we're going to make our orange bird, okay? We're going to do the warm colors first. So in order to make orange with this palette, you're going to take a little bit of yellow and put it on your palette here. Keep going, water, yellow. Now wash your brush and get some red orange here to mix some red orange with your yellow, and then you have your orange here. So after you mix your orange, then you can paint your orange bird. And you want to make sure when you're painting, again, I'm holding the paper still with my left hand. And sometimes I have to go back into the water and rinse off the brush. You want to make sure that all the colors are nice and even. So you want to paint fast and make sure you have enough orange so that you have an even distribution of that color. Okay? So with this mixing set that you have, that some of you have, and if some of you have it, you're going to be making orange with the yellow and the red orange. If you don't have the paint, you could do this with marker, or you can do this with crayon. Actually, you see what I just did? I actually went into the paint. Now, I'm glad I did that. I'm going to take my paper towel and blot it, okay? Sometimes Miss Galinsky can't talk and paint at the same time. So you can see it automatically took out that dark orange. So you want to use the color that you mix. Okay, this is a mixing palette so that the whole bird is orange. And we're going to go in the color spectrum of the warm colors to the cool colors. And we're making right now our secondary color orange. Okay, so you're using the color that you made here, and as you can see, I'm leaning, it might not be easy to see, but I'm leaning my pinky on the page to hold it still. Okay, so then I'm going to rinse my brush, and to make red with this mixing set here, you're going to take the red violet, the red orange over here, okay? And I'm going to add a lot of that. Then you're going to rinse your brush and get some magenta, also known as red violet. And you have a nice cherry red here. Okay, and you want to make enough that you can make your bird red. Okay, so the first week we're going to do for those of us who are painting, we're going to be doing the warm colors. You're going to be making your red, okay? So you make the red color by mixing the magenta or the red violet here with the red orange. We're going to do the warm colors this week. And then we will do the cool colors next week. And for those of you who don't have paint, you can do this with marker or oil pastels or crayon or even colored pencils. Perhaps you have watercolor pencils. And you want to make sure that you use the tip of the brush. And you also actually just touched that, so I'm going to blot that and come back to that later. So that was actually good that that happened. So what I'm doing is I'm leaning my pinky on the page here so that I can reach the area. You want to use the tip of the brush, very little paint on your brush, okay? And you want to make sure it's evenly distributed. So I accidentally touched the orange bird, so I'm going to wash my colors thoroughly, go back to the orange I made, and spread it around and paint that orange. So these are the three. We're going to do the warm colors this week, okay? So to recap, you're going to do the yellow straight from the yellow. Now, by the way, if this happens, you get orange in your paint, you're going to take your paper towel or your wipe, and you're going to just blot it so you make it a good yellow. And then to make your orange, you're going to take some yellow and put it over here, and you're going to wet your brush, and you're going to get some of your red orange, and you're going to mix it here. Red, orange, and yellow makes orange. You're going to paint your orange bird. Then you're going to make red, you're going to take magenta and red, orange, and make a red over there. And that's what we're going to do for the first week.